Scrap Salvage should be permanent, and I could so easily end the video there because that's ultimately all that needs to be said. But I do want to discuss this a little bit more. So before I get into it, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the notification bell turned on to never miss a piece of Star Wars Hunters content. But my god, Scrap Salvage honestly is so much fun, or it was whilst it was in the game. It came out as soon as Season 4 dropped last week and has now since disappeared to make way for Arrow Assault, which I think as of this video going live is probably finished or is about to finish. But out of all of the new game modes that Star Wars Hunters has added over the years, Scrap Salvage is honestly one of the most fun game modes in the game in my opinion. Whilst you are playing on the exact same maps you play on all of the modes with, I still just never get bored of them, and that's very much a testament to the environment designers and level designers for this game, because the maps are always just stand out in my opinion. But the mode of Scrap Salvage is just so much fun. It's a bit like Banked from Call of Duty, which is essentially just kill confirmed, but you pick up dog tags, you save them, and you have to go and deposit them. It's pretty much the exact same mode. In Call of Duty, it's fine, but it's nothing particularly exciting in my opinion. But in Star Wars Hunters, it just works so well. And I love the story behind it as well with the Anzellans, how they've essentially invaded the arena in a way, and are using the scrap in Scrap Salvage to build something. And I feel like they could really play into that story a little bit and actually have some kind of big thing in the game at some point thanks to the Anzellans, or they could do some kind of community event where as a community we have to get like 100 million scrap. Maybe that's a bit too much, but you know, we have to deposit, I don't know, maybe the first one could be 1 million, then 5 million, then 10 million, I don't know. And if we get all of that, then each step we get through we get a brand new reward as a community. That would be so much fun. But the game mode itself really is so enjoyable, and I don't really understand why it's a limited time mode thing. Maybe it's because it's a bit of a risk of a mode that hasn't been done hugely often as far as I'm aware, so maybe they just wanted to test the waters, see how people responded to it, because if it was just one of those things that were permanent and people didn't like it, then obviously that's not good for the game. So I do understand the desires to test things, but from what I've seen, the vast majority of the community really enjoyed the mode and would love to see it permanent, so I really do believe that that is something that Zynga should do. By all means, please use this video in the comments to share your thoughts on it. If you want to see it permanent as well, let me know in the comments, and I will just forward this as a part of the game feedback in the Discord server to really try and get the community's point across, because like I said, it's just so much fun. I really miss it now that it's not in the game, and I just can't wait to see it come back. I know it will come back at some point this season, I just obviously have no idea when. It is one of those modes that I probably would say shouldn't be in ranked at the moment, or at all. I don't really think it would work the best in ranked. I think a lot of people wouldn't be too happy to see it in there, and I think that's absolutely fine. The mode itself is just a lot of casual fun in my opinion, and I don't think they need to clog ranked up too much with all these different modes, but just having that overall casual playlist where you've got all those different modes in there, maybe even just separate them out like they have done with Squad Brawl and Objective, and just have the game mode separately, and you can just choose which mode specifically you want to play and matchmake that way. That could be a better option, especially when it does come to PC, because there'll be a lot more players. But for Season 5, honestly, I think they just need to make Scrap Salvage permanent. I really hope that is something they go and do, because I will be so happy with that, honestly. We've got a Coruscant Underworld map coming, PC release for the game. The new Kubaz Hunter in Glicken is coming as well, so if they could do Scrap Salvage as permanent, that for me would just be an insane update. And hopefully we can get some kind of confirmation on that at some point. I have very strong feelings about this. I really want it to be permanent at some point. I also really want them to make Hutball permanent, because I've seen a lot of people wanting that, but also just bring back Escort as well. Escort is such a good mode. It only had 2 maps as well, but just make some more maps for that, and that would just be incredible. I really feel with this game coming to PC, it needs to have a wider variety of modes, and Scrap Salvage, Hutball and Escort all being permanent, with LTMs like Boulder Bash and Arrow Assault and many other Holo Arcade ones that they eventually go and add. They could be a huge amount of fun and a really great rotation of modes in my opinion, and that would really kick off PC with an absolute bang. So fingers crossed they do listen to the community feedback. I think for PC in particular, something like Escort would be amazing, because a lot of people are used to playing games like Overwatch where you do have Escort modes in there. So fingers crossed they do go and do that. But like I said at the start of the video, Scrap Salvage needs to be permanent. That is all from me though. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the force be with you always.